Now, this is a very important topic, an interesting one. We have sort of finished what we were to study in this course. It's about the Bode magnitude plot and the Bode phase plot and the filters. That's the last topic. But within the filters, the scaling is a very important topic because you will see that when we come across practical values of the components that we are using, then scaling becomes very helpful. So for example, let me give you an idea why scaling is needed. So in theory, we usually come up with values that are not very practical to use. For example, I'm taking the example of a low pass filter. So if you remember, we have an RF here, CF here, CR1 here. This is a first order low pass filter. So this is a first order active low pass filter. And if you remember, the H of S was something like minus RF over R1 into omega C over S plus omega C, where omega C was equal to the R with the C is going to determine the cutoff frequency. So when we design some filters, if I say okay, design a low pass filter with cutoff 1000 radian per second and a pass band gain of 10. So this means that we are looking at a H of S with a pass band gain of 10. In this dealing, we ignore this minus sign. Plus 10 minus 10 would just mean a difference of phase angle of 180 degree, and which usually is not of importance in sinusoidal signals. So 10 into a cutoff frequency of 1000 over S plus 1000. So this is the transfer function we are looking at. If we usually ignore this minus because we can always put a inverting amplifier in cascade at the output with a gain of 1 to get this minus removed. So basically we will do most of the discussion eliminating the minus here. So we are interested in this transfer function. So if somebody says okay, design it, and you come up with a design of, say, okay, we have this equation omega C is equal to RF over CF. Now because we have only one equation and two parameters, two component values to find, it is not possible unless I assume one of them. So let us assume that CF is equal to 10 microfarad, which is a practical actually value, easily obtainable. And then RF would be equal to 1 over omega C CF, that would be 1 over 10 raised power 3 10 raised power minus 7, that is going to give us 10 raised power 4 ohm or 10 kilo ohm. So this is a good value, good practical value. This is also a good practical value, and it is no issue. However, it is no issue finding from the market, and we forgot this passband gain of 10. So RF over R1 is 10. So now we know RF is equal to 10K. So this is going to give us R1 is equal to RF over 10, that is 10 kilo ohm over 10, that is 1 kilo ohm. So this is a practical value as well. Very good. We go find these values, make a circuit, and we get these parameters. That's perfectly fine. But suppose in the exam, so let me say this is option 1. In the theoretical exam, another student designs it like this. He says, okay, let me take CF is equal to 1 farad. Now, is this a value that we can find in the market? No. So then RF would be equal to 1 over omega C and into CF, and that is going to be 1 over 10 to the power 3 into 1. that is going to give us 10 to the power minus 3. So 1 milliohm is the resistance, and then R1 would come out to be 0.1 milliohm because of the passband gain. Now in a theory paper, basically um, I I would give full marks to this one as well as this one, because in theory we have not put this condition that the values you find must be practical and you have to show it to me. No, if the idea was to make it in a lab and I want to see what you have made, then these are poor values, that are not good values. However, this one would win there. But in a pure theoretical setting, theory exam, both of the attempts will get equal values. So sometimes it happens that we come up with values, or we take values that are very simple to deal with. However, they are not practical values. So basically, we what we do is we apply the concept of magnitude scaling. That is, component values or component values magnitude are scaled. So the magnitude scaling, where we assume Km to be a magnitude scaling factor, is used. So Km is a magnitude scaling factor. That means, okay, let us look at this option 2, or the solution 2, where Cf is 1 farad is a bad value for practical life. We know that instead of this, we would like to have a Cf of let us call this. So we are taking this as an example. So we have come up with a circuit with these values, very poor values, but we say, okay, now we don't have these values available, so I need a Cf. Let me call that Cf dash. I have a 10 microfarad available with me. I want to scale this value to 10 microfarad. Now, if you look at the reactances, remember the capacitive reactance is proportional to 1 over omega c. So basically, omega remains the same here. So omega, in fact, this is equal to this thing. Omega c is proportional to 1 over c. So if the magnitude scaling factor is usually between the reactances. So Km is the magnitude scaling factor between the reactance, the new reactance that we want, and the current reactance that we have. This is the current one. This is the new one. So new divided by old is the factor that we are dealing with here. So this is just given for you to remember which value to put where. So the new that we want to obtain is going to give us this Km. So if I am not happy with the 1 farad capacitor, I want to use a 10 microfarad capacitor, and I don't want to change the parameters of the circuit. So it should still have a cutoff of this one and a passband gain of this one. That's important. Then I will say, okay, so Km is equal to old C divided by new C. Why? Because the capacitance is reciprocal to the capacitive reactance. So this will give me C over C dash. So Cf over Cf dash, which is equal to 1 farad divided by 10 raised to power minus 7. So Km now comes out to be 10 raised to power 7. We need to scale the components by a factor of 10 raised to power 7. This is the scaling factor. And we call this magnitude scaling factor because we are going to look at another scaling factor later on. So to distinguish, we use this word magnitude scaling factor, represent with the K with the M. So if this is the case, then we say, okay, if we have scaled the magnitude of the capacitances, the magnitude of the resistances also need to be scaled, but a resistive resistance in the frequency domain and time domain is the same. So basically the Km in terms of resistances would be R dash, the new one, divided by old one, new over old. In terms of capacitances, it would be old over new, but in terms of R dash, it would be R, it would be the new over old. So we already have this R equal to 1 millihenry. So the new RF dash would come out to be Km into Rf, old one. So this is 10 raised to the power 7 into 1 milli 10 raised to the power minus 3, which is 10 raised to the power 4 ohm, which, since this value exactly matches this value that we took earlier on, this value, you see, by scaling we have reached exact same value that we had in the option 1, but we started with the option 2 and used scaling. And similarly, another resistance in the dealing, the new value of that would be Km times R1. So that is equal to 10 raised to the power 7 into 0.1 milli, that is 10 raised to the power minus 4, equal to 10 raised to the power 3 ohm. So that's it. Scaling has brought us to yielded, scaling has yielded practical values, and that's very important and interesting. Okay, this design was given to someone and he said, oh, I do not have a 10 microfarad capacitor in my home and I still want to do this project assignment for home and submit tomorrow. At home I have a 3 microfarad capacitor, so he can scale these values to a um, new values and come up with the values that he has at home. So if someone tells him, okay, I have made a low pass filter that has a C equal to 10 microfarad, another an R resistance of 10 raised to the power 4 ohm, and another resistance of 10 raised to the power 3 ohm, and you have to make this and submit, make a low pass filter, submit tomorrow. And when the guy starts making it, so suppose he had a 10 microfarad and but it burned up, and now he has a 3.333 microfarad capacitor with him. What to do? He would scale these values without knowing any other thing. He just have to come up with a new scaling factor is the equal to old value, which is 10 microfarad, the new one, which is 3.333 into 10 raised to the power, this one, cancel 10 over 3.333 would be equal to 3, and the new values of resistances then would be equal to Km times the old values. So this gives us 3 into 10 raised to the power 4, which is 30 kilo ohm, and R1 dash would be 3 kilo ohm on similar lines. So this circuit with a 10 microfarad capacitor, 10 kilo ohm and 1 kilo ohm resistances would exactly be the same. We would have exactly the same transfer function as a circuit with 3.333 microfarad capacitor and a 30 kilo ohm resistor and 3 kilo ohm resistor. So that's the power of scaling, and it's a very interesting topic. If you really have understood this, then you would know that it is much simpler to understand and to learn about um, the circuits with component values of 1 and cutoff frequencies computed. So for example, look at this one. Instead of remembering this, let us say a first order active low pass filter. Let us try to remember this one, and you will see it will be much easier to remember, because often in the open book exams, although or with the formula sheets given, you usually do not have much time, or even if you have time, it is not a good idea to not know things on your own and to leave all the things uh, for the uh, for the final exam. and say, okay, I will look up and then I know how to do it. That's not sufficient. So look at this particular shape circuit. This circuit is important. We have a resistor here, and a capacitor here. So it's not your own choice to put it anywhere, but with all the component values 1 ohm, 1 ohm, and 1 farad. So now we know the H of S for this one would be minus RF is 1, this 1, minus, and omega C is 1 over 1 into 1, omega C is 1. So this is equal to minus 1 over S plus 1, and the cutoff frequency is 1 radian per second. So with this in our um, toolbox, we can now design and make any low pass filter of first order, and then just scale it to get the practical values, and that's something very brilliant. But here is the other point you need to look at that. Perhaps you might have caught it. The cutoff frequency of this particular filter is 1 radian per second, but we needed a filter with a cutoff frequency of 1000 radian per second. This brings us to the frequency scaling and a frequency scaling factor. We use KF to denote that, which is the frequency scaling factor. By definition, the frequency scaling factor is the new frequency we require divided by the old frequency that we have currently in the circuit that we have. So new frequency would be, if we just apply magnitude scaling on this one, then the cutoff will not change. You would see that whether we use these values or these values, the cutoff frequency will remain the same. For all these values, the cutoff frequency is 1000 radian per second. We have not changed the frequency here. So if the frequency is this, magnitude scaling alone is going to change the values of R and C, R's and C, but it will not change the cutoff frequency. However, if we want to change the frequency as well, we need frequency scaling. So frequency scaling is the new frequency we require divided by the current frequency we have. And then you should know that while here it was important to tell that the capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to the capacitance, and the inductive reactance, although we have not covered inductances in active filters, but if we have a passive filter, scaling also works there. But in that case, you should remember that XL is proportional to L. So in magnitude scaling, if km is equal to C over C dash, or this is equal to L dash over L, and this is equal to R dash over R, then what is to remember is C dash, the new C is equal to the old C over km, the new L is equal to km into L, and the new R is equal to km into R. But here you should know that frequency does not affect resistance. So the new R would be equal to the old R. The new L will be equal to the frequency scaling factor multiplied by L, and the new C would be equal to C over KF. These can be worked out and they are not difficult to compute. For example, just to give you a hint, let me tell you how this is going to affect that. So if the new frequency, cutoff frequency for a filter, for such a filter, is equal to some new parts, that is RF dash and CF dash, and the old one was equal to 1 over RF divided by CF, then you see if I take the ratio of both sides, then we get omega C dash over omega C, which by definition is the KF, and that this part is going to become RF CF over RF dash CF dash. So, and we know that R is not dependent on frequency, so we can cancel the R's in the numerator denominator and we get CF. And I am just trying to drop this subscript F to give you C dash equal to this thing. So knowing this, R is not dependent on frequency. So changing R, the value of R, scaling the values of R in a circuit without changing the values of C will affect the frequency. But if you just say, okay, scale this one and this one, then omega C is not going to change. So we have to be very careful here. So so the relationship for KF is clear, and this same relationship based on this assumption that R is not changed gives us this. And if we work out a cutoff frequency for a circuit which has L in it, for example, yes, I remember, if you remember, then there was a circuit, passive circuit with a cutoff frequency of 1 over square root of LC. Now you can see that if we use the new frequency and say the new component values are L dash and C dash, then the ratio is going to give us KF is equal to under root LC over under root L dash C dash, or KF is going to be equal to LC over L. I hope I have not skipped something. LC dash. Oh, yes, I have forgot this one. So we are going to get L dash C dash, and this gives us KF into KF, that is KF square is equal to LC over L dash C dash. So what is C over C dash equal to? KF. So what is L over L dash equal to? That is also equal to KF. That tells me I have made a mistake here. That's very good that I tackled this one. So here, when we are in the frequency domain, both the L and C are divided by KF. That's very important. R is not affected. So basically, when we are dealing with frequency scaling, the formulas to be remembered are these one. Because I have given you the background of how they are computed, how they can be verified, and when we make them together, when we bring all together, both magnitude and frequency scaling are happening together, then the resultant formulas would be the new R would be equal to the magnitude scaled current value. The new L would be equal to the magnitude scaled inductor and the frequency scale one as well, and C dash would be equal to C over Km into Kf. For C it is both in the denominator. For L, magnitude scaling factor multiplies but Kf divides, and for R, Kf is not affected. These are the formulas to be remembered for scaling, and I will give you an example and you would see that scaling makes things super easy. So suppose we need to design a band pass filter with omega 1 is equal to say 1000 radian per second, omega 2 is equal to 10,000 radian per second, and let us say let us say we need to use the series RLC circuit. While I am taking different values, remember the previous question on the band pass filter, the graphic equalizer one, where we use the series RLC circuit to design that circuit. Try to do that with scaling. But before that, you would know that the cutoff frequency, if all the L, C, and R are all ones, if all are ones, then the cutoff frequency, or what was given as a parameter here, the omega naught, the center frequency was 1 over LC, and all are 1, so this is equal to 1 radian per second. So for this circuit, for this all one component circuits, 1 Henry, 1 Farad, 1 ohm, they are not practical values. The center frequency is 1 radian per second, and there were formulas for other parameters as well. We will come to that. So okay, so now the question is to design this circuit. We know that we need to do scaling. This is the circuit, this is the cutoff. So let us find the omega naught, the center frequency that we are interested in. That is, this is omega naught. Let us find the new omega naught that we have to come up with. That would be equal to omega 1 into omega 2 given the geometric mean of these one, which will be 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 4. And if I remember from the previous example, we had similar values. Value was 3162. 3162 radian per second. There it was in hertz. We have this in radian per second because the megas are given. So with this, now we see that omega naught dash over omega naught gives us kf. The frequency factor, the frequency scaling factor that we are interested in is 3162. This is a factor, does not have a unit. And now comes the important part, that we need to find Km. But for Km, we need to first find what component values we would be using. So we start with one of them. Any one is okay, but generally it's always wise to come up with a C that is a good value. So let us say we have a 1 microfarad capacitor. So this is a new value. These are the current values. So this gives us Km. Km is equal to C over C dash. This is equal to 1 over 10 to the power minus 6. That is 10 to the power 6. So this is Km. This is Kf. And now based on pure, we have the circuit, we have the values. We just need to find the new values, and the new values, finding the new values through scaling will give us the answer. That's it. And although I'm doing this for a passive RLC circuit, band pass filter, you can do the same for an active filter. Assume a pass band gain as well and try to do that yourself. So the new value of R would be equal to Km into R, which is Km is 10 to the power 6, and into the current value, that is, so 1 mega ohm resistance is to be used. If this is not a value that is good enough, then you will go back and change this assumption. You say, okay, C dash should be 10 microfarad. If this is 10 microfarad, then we are going to get this 10 to the power 7, and it's going to get 10 mega ohm. So we can try reducing this, say 1 nanofarad. So for example, with 1 nanofarad, this is going to come to be 1 kilo ohm. So while 1 nanofarad is a smaller capacitance, 1 kilo ohm is also a more practical value. So it all depends on what you start with and you can change your assumption to come up with more practical values if you have to do it in practice. And similarly, L dash would be equal to KML divided by KF. So Km here is 10 to the power 6, but Kf is 3162 and current value is 1. So we have 10 to the power 6 divided by 3162 to be equal to 316 point something henries, which does not look like a good value. This has increased a lot, is not a practical value at all. There must be some mistake we have done here. Can you try to figure that out? Try to figure that out. Have you seen that? You should pause it here, try to find the mistake. If you cannot find it, then I am going to show it to you. Here is the mistake. We are dealing with both the Kf and Km, so Km is not only equal to this thing. Instead, remember the new C is equal to the old C divided by Kf Km, which is going to give us Km is equal to C over C dash, and we have a Kf here as well. So whatever was the old value, which is 1, Kf is 3162, and then C dash is 1 raised to the 10 to the power minus 6. That is going to give us a Km of 316, in fact the same thing, 316.3. So this is going to give us an R dash equal to Km into R, which is equal to 316.3 into 1, that is 316.3 ohm. So this one may be a better one. If it's not a good one, good value, then go back. So basically these are now to be recalculated because of the mistake here. So Km is also not correct. This is wrong. So this is the way to calculate the Km, and the new value and L dash would be Km L over Kf. That would be 316.3 over 10 raised to the power 6. Kf was 316.2 into L. So that is 316.2, actually 1 by 10 or 0.1 Henry. It is still a big value, but at least much more reasonable than this one. And if these values are not accepted to you, 1 microfarad, 316.3 ohm and 0.1 Henry, if these are not acceptable, try to come up with a better initial start. For example, suppose you are limited in what options do you have for the L, then instead of starting with C dash, it is not necessary to start with C dash. You can say, okay, let me have the new value of the inductance to be equal to 10 millihenry. You can start with this. So this is one of the options. This is the other option, and there are several. That is why design questions have different answers. So start with this and then say, because L dash is equal to Km over Kf into L, which implies that Km would be equal to L dash into Kf over L. So that is going to give us 3162 into L dash, new value 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by L, current value, that is 1. So we are going to get 10 raised power minus 2 here, 10 raised power minus 2, and we are going to get 31.62. You see, km is the 316.3 here. Here we have a smaller km, so we are going to get probably a larger, a smaller value of capacitance and a different value of resistance. That the resistance, because km is smaller, resistance is going to be smaller. If that is a problem and you need a larger resistance, then change this initial assumption. So that's how scaling works, and you can use this scaling on active filters, on passive filters, but be careful about the gain of the active filters. If all the component values of a active filter is are 1, then the gain is also 1. So if you are if you are making an active filter for some gain, then one idea is to put an inverting amplifier at the end of the same gain. That is going to give you the required gain. So that's about scaling, and is a very powerful technique. You should try to master it. And with this, the basic of filter, body diagram, and everything is completed, except that I would like to have a 17th week lecture. In fact, we are in the 17th week, because I am also counting the exam week in this counting, but we have an additional week in this semester. So I would like to have one more lecture on filters, and we will discuss higher order filters, and that is an essential one as well. So try to cover that up as well. We may have one part of question in the final exam from that as well.